Well, we'll start by having the players just hum the fight song, guys. No, kidding.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Up for a challenge. We have the mics, of course, we know. Casual here, and who would like to start with the questions? Jim? Let's just start with the players, and then we'll just kind of go casual.
Okay, Jim Conley from U.S. College Hockey Online. Dylan, 3 years here. What has, if anything, how has preparation changed the more you learn about this event in terms of getting ready for that national title game?
You don't really get to experience this very often, so when you get the opportunity, you got to be prepared for it. But I think really we're just trying to enjoy the moment.
Okay, Jess?
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. For either player, how much of last night's second game did you watch, and what about UMass stood out to you and the game plan for tomorrow?
Peter?
Yeah, we watched a little bit. Caught the end of the game, but we know they're a great team, obviously fast. Don't know much about them other than that, but I think, if we bring our game and, play the way that we need to play for 60 minutes, I think we'll like the outcome. But caught the end of it, and other than that, I don't know much about them, I guess, yeah.
Dylan, what do you know?
I watched the game. They got a good power play, obviously, and they're good offensively. But I think we got good team defense. So I think we can outplay them. So.
John?
It's for Peter. John Worrell with the Associated Press. What do you make? A lot has been made about the experience that this team has, and Frozen Four experience, the championship experience. How much does that play into what this team has been able to accomplish this season and going into tomorrow, and how much might it help going into tomorrow?
Yeah, I think experience, anytime you can get that, is beneficial. We might not have the oldest roster, but we have a lot of guys that have played in big stages, whether it's been in prior teams, international experience, whatever it is, and past Frozen Fours too. So having that experience is big, and just coming in and knowing how hard it is to get here and what it takes to get here, and cherishing every opportunity, because we've been fortunate enough to win it last year, and we want that feeling again. So. But it makes all the the grind in the off season and throughout the year, that it makes it all worth it, and you want to get back to this point every year. So, and we set ourselves up in a good first half and second half. So we're excited to be here.
Jer? Yeah, go ahead, Jer.
Jerry Burrow, Minnesota Hockey Connection. Hey, Peter, tell us a little bit what happened up in Alaska that made you want to transfer to UMD, and wasn't that the best choice you've ever made in your life?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, I kind of committed, and just the first offer I had, and I didn't really know much, and I was excited to get up there, and I enjoyed my time up there. Had good memories and 2 great years. I guess just for me, it was kind of the hockey that I wanted to go a different direction, and wanted a chance to win a national championship, and be a part of a little, I guess, different style of play. So for me, when I got the chance to talk to the coaching staff here, and it was a no-brainer for me, I was instantly ready to come here. So, and I had friends that have played here. I had friends that played on the team currently at the time. So it was an awesome experience, and yeah, definitely best decision I made, and looking back, so grateful for it.
Okay, back here.
Kyle Grabowski, Daily Hampshire Gazette. Being the defending champion, throughout the season, how have you guys handled sort of that target and that pressure, knowing that night in and night out you're going to get what the other team's best shot?
Dylan?
It was last year we obviously won it, and we knew coming into the year that, like what you said, everyone's going to be coming for us. We got a big target on our back, but really that comes with preparation, and I feel like the guys have handled that pretty well this year.
What did we have for the post-game meal last night, boys?
How was a little Mexican food?
Mexican.
Tacos, rice, oh yeah.
Tacos, nice. Sounds pretty good, huh?
Oh yeah.
What did you guys watch the game, the second game?
I caught the third period in the overtime myself.
Yeah.
I watched second and third period, so.
Probably playing Fortnite.
Yeah. Fortnite, yeah. Jess, right here in the front.
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. Dylan, being from Hermantown, Bruce and Derek Plant are pretty well-known names. I talked to Derek in the stands yesterday. He's a former Sabre, being back here. What did the Plant family mean to you in hockey development, and what's your relationship with them like?
They're obviously a big family in Hermantown. Bruce was head coach there for a long time. I was fortunate enough to play for him and finish off his career with him. But that whole family has just been really supportive, and the whole Hermantown community is really supportive for me, and that's really beneficial in, my development and everything.
Okay, what else? Anything else for the players, Jess? Yeah.
Jess Myers, The Rink Live. Peter, during the regional, watching on TV, we heard the number 25 a lot, and not just for the number on the back of your jersey, the fact that you're one of the older players, not only on this team, but in college hockey. How do you feel like you're different than your teammates? I mean, is there do you have a different style than them, just being the fact that, you played junior and you played somewhere else and you've been around this a while?
I don't know. I don't think different, but it's just a different experience. Everyone's got their own journey, and I've kind of been all over. But I'm definitely grateful to be here, and I definitely we all connect, all the guys. Whether it's a guy that comes in 17, 18, or a guy that comes in 21, 22, whatever it may be. But that's just like the culture that the coaching staff has created in Duluth, and welcome me. And yeah, I get a little heckled, I guess, here or there for being the older guy. But I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world for sure. So it's been an unbelievable journey for me. But yeah.
Okay, good. All right, guys, we'll let you go. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Good job, man.
Best of luck. And we will continue with your questions for Coach Sandelin. Chair.
Jerry Burrow, Minnesota Hockey Connection. Scott, you played Denver 5 times. So when you were watching the game last night, if you were, did you have a choice of which team you wanted to play? And second question is, have you made any plans to adjust to UMass now? Or are you just going to go with your team and make adjustments during the game?
Well, we haven't seen a ton of UMass, but I mean, obviously, if we would have played Denver, there's a more familiarity there with the way they play, and same thing for them with the way we play. Obviously, when you see a team for the first time, I think there's good and bad. I mean, obviously, there's no familiarity with maybe their style of play. You can watch games, but also that's good. There's some newness to that, and it allows you to focus a little bit more on how you need to play. But there'll probably be some things that we'll obviously pay attention to, just like we do with any opponent. But this isn't a time to go changing the way you play. And if you have to within game, we'll make some adjustments. But we've got to just prepare our team to play and do the things that we need to do to have success, regardless of who we're playing. But they're a very good team. I've been impressed with what I've seen. They're a pressure team. They're fast. They've got a real mobile back end. So, but we've seen teams like that too.
John.
Scott, John Worrell with the Associated Press. What do you make of a 31 win team that considers itself the underdog because you guys have been here? This is your 3rd trip.
All I know is you win 31 games, you're a damn good hockey team. So, and they are. And, I don't think there's, if that's how that people want to spin it, I mean, I guess there's reasons for that. It's probably because, we have been here before, but when the puck drops, it's a hockey game, regardless of who's played how many games. And hopefully, our guys, because they've been there, will start the game well and hopefully play their best game. But it's going to be a great hockey game.
Jim, then Jess. Right here, Jim.
Thank you. Excuse me. Jim Conley from U.S. College Hockey Online. Scott, watching these two teams, it seems that you both like to get through the neutral zone with some speed. And both teams like to stop their opponent from doing that. How important does the neutral zone become tomorrow night, and how do you slow down a fast team when they're trying to go through the neutral zone?
Well, I mean, they're a little bit different than some of the teams we've seen as far as the way they defend through the neutral zone. So that's probably one thing that we'll focus on. But I don't think it changes. I mean, you got to manage pucks. You got to make sure you're not forcing plays or turning pucks over in critical areas. There's no question. You got to, we're not a huge east-west team. We're more of a vertical north team, and we've got to have support and speed and chips and get after it. But for us defensively, just making sure you're above people and everybody's doing their job. I mean, they're gonna get pucks behind our D. And when you do that, you're gonna be going back on pucks, so you've got to have good structure coming back and getting pucks out. But we know they pressure, so we're gonna have to make plays under pressure, and we got to learn to handle that. So hopefully we can do the same thing to them. It's when we're playing well too. So, but I think just support, puck support, and just managing pucks is going to be critical. Not just through the neutral zone, but all over the rink. But if you want to generate some speed and play your game, you've got to get through there, and to nullify them, you got to make sure everybody's doing their job and making sure you're above people and not allowing any outnumbered rushes.
Okay, Jess?
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. Scott, third straight Frozen Four trip and third straight time that you've been sitting here on Friday running a practice. Do you get into a routine, like a regular schedule of what you do? You arrive on Tuesday and eat at certain times, or do you try and make each kind of a unique experience?
I think you try and stay in as much of your routine as you can. It's been kind of fun because the Wednesdays practice, we always start with a 3-puck game. So when you have the practice here, I know the first year we did it, everybody that was watching didn't know what the heck we were doing. So, but our guys, it's something we do all year, and that continued, and obviously kind of run more of a, with the game being Thursday, just more of your typical Thursday practice. Today's a little bit unique, just because the guys are really excited, and I just want to get them out there and get them moving, and again, have some fun out there and not make them think too much right now. They'll get dialed in later tonight and tomorrow, and today they're still enjoying it a little bit, and you want them to have fun out there too. But we stay in pretty much a little bit of a normal routine.
Kind of a fun list. Bob Johnson, Herb Brooks, Gino Gasparini, John McGinnis, Jack Parker, Murray Armstrong, Vic Heiliger, Jerry York. And now Scott Sandelin, the only coaches that have been in 4 or more national championship games. That's kudos.
Thanks.
Fun.
Kyle Grabowski, Daily Hampshire Gazette. Having been in these situations as often as you guys have over the past couple of years, is it possible to become comfortable in these? Do you adjust to and become comfortable in what you guys are experiencing?
Well, I think anytime you have experience going through something, you're a little bit more comfortable. But if you're looking for the word complacency, that'll never set in. I can tell you that. But yeah, I think it makes guys, feel a little bit better because they know what to expect. Especially with, when you get here and the long day that it is on Wednesday, and their solace is getting on the rink. They love being on the rink. Some guys are better with the media, some guys aren't, but they like getting on the rink and they like hanging out, and it's a special time of the year when you're still playing in April and you can be together and practice today and get on the ice one more time for a morning skate on Saturday and playing the last game of the year. Those are special times, but I think there's a little bit of a comfort level for sure. The first year guys, the freshmen are not, they don't know anything, so they just kind of follow along. But I do think there's a little bit of that.
Okay, John?
Scott, John Worrell with the AP. You didn't have anything on the line tomorrow. Can you appreciate what UMass has done when you reflect back to maybe your first year at Duluth, Minnesota Duluth with 7 wins, and just how far they've come? I mean, you must, if you didn't have anything on the line, you'd be, a lot of people would be rooting for them, maybe you yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was, what was it, 5? I don't know, there was 5, 17, 30, I think, before, obviously. I wish mine would have gone that fast, I know that. But, we kind of had the same trajectory, and we got to Boston in 2004, which was kind of fun because it kind of built the same way. We didn't get to the final game, but, it's a credit to them and their recruiting and getting players and building. Sometimes it doesn't go that quickly. Obviously, when you get some special players, obviously Maker's a great player, and they have some other ones too. But when you get a headliner like that, it certainly helps. Get other players too. But it's a credit to them. Like I said, I think the other day, there's so many hardworking staffs that do a good job recruiting, and to put together a quality program. It's not like he's a first year coach. He's done this too, so he's been around the recruiting world in college hockey prior to taking that job. So, but it's still kind of a cool story to see teams take a step up, and it gives hope for a lot of programs. You know what? That's, you work hard, you get the right kids, fit in your program, you can have success. Doesn't mean you're going to get to this point all the time, but you can have success. So, give those guys a lot of credit.
Miguel?
I'm Miguel Rodriguez, Buffalo News. What did you see in Hunter Shepard? You talked about how he was lightly recruited. What did you see in him that made you think that he'd be a good fit for your program?
I think one of the best games I saw him play was at a Thanksgiving tournament in Edina in high school. He had 64 saves, and they lost the game in overtime. He was unbelievable. And I was on the phone with him after, and and again, we were talking to other people, but we kind of tracked him. Then he went to Bismarck, and our goaltending situation was pretty good. And then we were fortunate at the end of his second year at junior, because I know there was other schools interested in him, to continue to talk to him and get him there, and just a very competitive. I mean, he's ultra competitive. I mean, if you would have watched that game, you would have seen that. But I think if you've watched him play for us, he's that type of goaltender. He's super competitive. He's matured a lot. I think he's one of the things I appreciate him about. If he's not on his A game, he's got a B game. I think that's really important for a goaltender. And a lot of it's just through sheer compete. He's become more of a leader for our team vocally. He talks all the time on the ice, and he's become more and more vocal in the dressing room. But he's not a rah guy, but he's that guy when he does talk, guys listen. So it's just, that's the beauty of college. You watch these kids mature and grow and develop. And last thing, our volunteer goalie coach, Brant Nicklin's done an unbelievable job. So to me, he gets the credit for getting Shep to where he is. But we're pretty fortunate that we got him in our program, and he likes to hunt and fish. That was probably a big thing. He could come back and go ice fishing in the winter and do those things that he loves to do.
Jess, right here in front.
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. In his 40-plus years coaching football at UMD, Jim Molosky always wanted to play at 1:30 on Saturday because he said he didn't want his players waiting around all day to play a game. 8 o'clock game tomorrow night, and you're in a hotel. What do you do to kind of keep the guys engaged and keep them from getting in too far in their heads?
The good thing is it falls into a little bit more of our normal weekend game routine times and things like that. So, I mean, we'll get up, we'll have breakfast, and have a morning skate, and we'll just do a normal day. They have a little video and be done with it, and they'll have their naps, and we'll head over when we can. So, sometimes the games that you do want to play, you don't want to sit around. I get that, but it was kind of nice yesterday to be able to play a little bit earlier. But you got to go through that, and sometimes that's what the regionals are good with that too, because you have some different times and you get that experience. And we played some earlier games too, also some late games. I think we had an 8 o'clock game in our league because it was a doubleheader. So that's not fun when you're playing 7 o'clock. But we could be playing at midnight. I don't think any of these kids are going to care. They just want to play. No, we'll keep them. No, we'll keep them around the hotel.
What's if you could pick a time, what would it be?
To play?
Yeah.
I think that 6 o'clock would be great.
6, yeah. Interesting. Jimmy?
Jim Conley from U.S. College Hockey Online. Scott, both teams got into specialty situations. Your team and UMass, some big penalty kills on both sides. But how important does discipline come into play? I mean, Greg called his team a heavy team. He said your team's a heavy team. You like to play the physical. But not crossing that line and putting your team at risk.
It's huge. I mean, I think it's something we stress all the time. I don't think I stress it anymore. I might be a little louder when I say it now because it's so critical, and you just got to stay out of that. But it's an emotional game. There's emotions. There's intensity. I mean, this is what kids play for, to be in these games. And you know what? As much as you talk about it, you hope that they listen and follow through with that. But and again, too, you got to see how they're going to call games, right? What they're going to allow, what they're not. That can also escalate things. But that's what makes it fun. Like, you know what? And those are adjustments you have to make, right? You have to make those adjustments too. If it's a tighter game, then, you know, you've got to make sure that you don't cross that line. So, but discipline is huge. And, you know, you look at, I know for us, it's, it's going to be, you know, talked about a lot because obviously their power play is good, just like Providence's was. And we don't want to spend a lot of time in the box if we don't have to.
Every national championship game that has ended in 9, the year 9, 49, 59, 69, etc., has been decided by one goal. All of them but one has been decided by a 4-3 score and 4 in overtime. There you have it.
Okay. You're always full of facts, Fish.
That's thanks to Adam Moden in the back. He gave me that one. But so I guess we're going to expect a 4-3 game tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
All right.